Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. club. And this morning I come to you beachside from down here at Bronte. It's Sunday morning, it's cold, it's windy, it's raining. It's a little bit miserable, but the good news is that I've finished my swim. I was in the pool at 6 a.m. and I did my 1 hour, 2 kilometre swim. I was the first in the water, and it's now roughened up a bit. I'll just give you a bit of a look at the pool down there. As you can see, it's low tide, but the sea is pounding into that pool down there and making it all interesting. Anyway, while it's a miserable day, it is still beautiful to be out and about, and I do enjoy making the most of my Sundays whenever I can. And I'll just give you a bit of a panorama here just to show you the beauty of the coastline here at Bronte. The sandstone cliffs here are just awesome. Look at the textures. Look how beautiful it is. Absolutely magnificent. As you can see, I'm shivering a bit. I've had, as I said, I've been in the water there. It's about 17 degrees, and I followed up with a cold shower. And yeah, it's a bit breezy here, but we'll get by, we'll get through it. Anyway, I want to have a chat to you today about a topic that I've got near and dear to my heart. I don't know where I picked up this story. It was either at a Steve Covey seminar or at a Jim Rohn seminar, but I'll try and relay it and pass it on as best I can with as much detail as I can. But the story goes as follows. There was a community who were troubled because they were slowly running out of water. The water supply was diminishing. Even though they'd invested in building dams and water supplies over the years, they'd invested millions of dollars in building their water supply. They found that with time, as the community was growing, the water supply was diminishing. So they were troubled and wondering what to do. So all the engineers and all the people in the community got together to try and figure out what they needed to do in order to fix the problem. And it looked like the only solution was going to be to raise money and to build a new dam. So they got together, they started to talk about the options, but they were still very troubled because while the community had grown significantly, the resources that they had originally planned for, should have been more than enough to cater for the number of people that they had. But anyway, that was their problem, and they had to try and figure out a way to solve it. The interesting thing though was that one of the young engineers decided to do a bit more digging to try and figure out what the problem may be, and he went to the dam there, to the dam supply area, and he saw this big wheel, this big round wheel, and he asked the other engineers, "What's this wheel for? What's this thing here?" And the other guys said, "Well, we don't really know what this is for. No, it's been here ever since they built the dam." And he said, "Well, what would happen if we just started to turn this wheel?" and nobody knew what would happen. So they said, well, let's give it a try. Let's turn this wheel and see what happens. And they started to turn this wheel, and all of a sudden the water supply started to improve and started to get better, until it got to the point where there was more than enough water being supplied to the community. And then one of the old engineers said, well, you know, that wheel there is the actual valve, the valve to the pipes. So the problem for that community wasn't that they didn't have enough water supply. The problem ended up being that the valve was closed or half opened, starting to rain, so let me get out of the rain. And that was the reason why there wasn't enough water getting through. So that's a fantastic metaphor for all of us to consider, because most of us live our lives with a handbrake on. Most of us live our lives with the valve half opened. And I remember somebody also suggesting years ago that we're all living our lives, you know, to 20 or 30% of our potential, which is quite frightening, you know, because as a parent, and I think as all parents, what we want of our children is for them to reach or maximise their potential. The big worry, you know, for parents is to have children grow up and never reach the levels and the potential that they could have reached. Let me get my umbrella and we'll go out there and continue our walk and talk. So here we go. Oh, look at this ocean coming through. Look at that. How beautiful is that? So let's continue on our talk. I'll get out of the rain, it's just too cold. So yeah, so the message there is we've got to try and make the most of what we've got, and try and eliminate all the limitations. And the other thing that I try and pass on to young people is that you know, try and maximise what you've got. You know, I tell people, you know, like hug people as if you really mean it. Kiss people as if you really mean it. Greet them as if you really mean it. Because a lot of people just dabble in life, you know, and as I said, you know, we've got that handbrake half on or the valve half closed, and we never seem to optimise and maximise those engagements, the friendships that we have, because we're always living with something in reserve. And you know, and you often wonder, you know, like why do we bother to have something in reserve? Why don't we just go full out, have a crack, and just maximise every engagement that we have, and try and get the most out of our lives? Now, what are we scared of? You know, why are we holding back? You know, what's the problem? No, there's no need to hold back. There's no need to be reserved. You know, with our friendships, with our families. You know, just express ourselves to the best of our abilities, and that will unleash an unreal ripple effect. Just like the ocean here is just crashing in and filling that pool with that oxygenated water, we too should be just unleashing ourselves and allowing ourselves to be all that we can be. The coast here is just superb. Let me just show you around. Look at the sandstone. The sandstone cliffs here at Bronte, the east coast of Sydney, is just absolutely magnificent. And I encourage you, come on down to Bronte, Bondi, Coogee, do the walks and enjoy the coastline. It's just something to be experienced. You can go all the way around there to Bondi. Anyway, I think that'll do me for today. This miserable weather, as we always say here in Australia, that we get all seasons in a day. Whew, I'm a little bit cold. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, and most importantly, release that valve. Don't live with limitations. Unleash that handbrake. Let that car accelerate to its maximum throttle speed. Now, be the most you possibly can. Hug as if you really mean it. Kiss as if you really mean it. Greet people as if you really mean it. And yeah, just be your full self. You know, no need to be reserved. No need to keep anything, you know, in the reserve tank. No need to hold back, because by holding back, you're not being yourself, and you're not expressing the full you. So, take care, enjoy your Sunday, enjoy your week, and until next time, hopefully tomorrow morning, 5 o'clock, I'll come to you from another location, showcasing the beauty of this city of Sydney, and hopefully bringing an empowering message, an uplifting message, so that we can all grow and develop and feel good about it, about each other. Yassas from Jim's 5am Club. Take care and bye for now. Yassas.